Hello and welcome to my next Grimsby Town preview, and this one is for our trip to Harrogate Town on Saturday. Oh boy, I class this as one of my, I would class this as actually our bogey side in the EFL, and when I go through a few of the stats you'll understand why. Bit of a shocking one I found out. I hope everyone's doing well as well. Just to also say a quick announcement the club did put out not too long ago. The youth team game that was supposed to take place on Friday night has now been postponed due to the bad weather around around our area. So that has been put back until Wednesday, next Wednesday. I believe it's a 7:30 or 7:45 kickoff, but it's been moved to next Wednesday. So you can get your tickets for that as well, and also I believe they've got minus TV passes as well that you can get for £5 if you can't make Wembley Park on that evening. Like I said, so the youth team's been moved to next midweek, and this game against Harrogate, a very, very critical game this for Grimsby. Another challenging week for Grimsby, obviously finding out early this week that Callum Ainley has been diagnosed with maybe it was thyroid cancer. But apparently everything is going well. He's had his operation according to David Artell in his pre-match. He had his pre-op I think before Christmas. He had his operation. So best wishes to Callum Ainley. All the best, Gal, and hopefully a speedy recovery, but take your time with this. So again, a bit of very devastating and disappointing news for Grimsby again this week. And just before we go into the full match preview, there's transfer talk. The best way to describe it is David Artell did admit in his pre-match press conference that there are teams interested in Grimsby players. Obviously, the biggest one that's been reported is Camille Conte. I'll give you a slight my opinion on that in a second. But obviously, there could be a few players on the move. In January, Artell didn't necessarily deny any of that. He would never confirm or deny, but he did confirm that clubs are interested in some players. But also when asked about any more incomings, he didn't rule that out either. Which I think is right, because you don't want to say, oh yes, it's going to happen, and then it doesn't happen, which nobody can really do. So he's kind of coy on it, but I think in the next week or two there could be some movement in and out of the club. As to what, the big transfer news is Camille Conte. He apparently had a bid put in by supposedly Bristol Rovers. Apparently Grimsby turned that down. So people have said, I've seen some uproar saying about, it shows the ambition of the club if they sell him now. The thing is, what a lot of fans have to realise is you cannot stop a club from making an offer. Unfortunately, that a team could come in and ask for Danny Rose. We cannot stop that. Unfortunately, we don't want it to happen, but we cannot stop clubs either making interest and having interest in a player or making an offer for the player. As far as we've read, they've turned down Bristol Rovers' approach, but they do believe there's more. For Conte, no surprise. The only thing with the transfers that I would question is, like Camille signed a 3-year deal. I believe this, and this is just transfers in general. I think when you sign a deal that is a multiple year, I feel like for that first year you have to be at that club. They're kind of like off limits for the first year of that deal. Then the next summer or the next January, whenever you made that deal, that is when it activates to where things can happen. I think that's what needs to happen with all transfers. You know, Cam's been here 6 months, and we kind of knew this was going to happen. I don't think fans really believed it was going to be that quick, but Camille, in one sense, has been one of our more consistent performers. We'll keep an eye on this for Conte and a few others. That there could be some outgoings by the weekend, there could be some incomings by the weekend, or there could be none, who knows. But Artel, during his pre-match press conference, did say, or was coy, but he also didn't hide it either, that basically there is interest in some of our players, and we might be close to 1 or 2, you know. You never know, but I do think Town's getting to the point where they're going to have to offload to bring in. So they were the first couple of things I wanted to just touch on at the beginning of this video. Now we'll crack on straight away with the preview. For by the way, on those topics, what are you guys' opinions on them? You know, on Camille Conte's interest by Bristol Rovers and maybe a few others, and about incomings and outgoings, and obviously the well thoughts for Callum Ainley as well. Let me know and get your comments in down below for me. Now we'll quickly move on to the preview for the Harrogate game. Obviously, Harrogate are a team that we only really came up against about, well, it was only about 3 weeks ago really that we came up against them. Well, not even that, to be actually honest. Well, no, near enough exactly a month ago, or close to a month ago. And, you know, since then, I mean, Harrogate have been they've been on a very good run of form, really. 3 wins in the last 5, losing 1 and drawing the other. Grimsby have been up and down, probably more up than down at the moment, but, you know, 3 defeats, 1 win, and that 5-5 draw with Notts County, which was absolutely insane. So, really, Harrogate have carried on the momentum from beating us last month, right before Christmas, and I say that was a cold one that day, wasn't it? That was a very, very cold one. I was so glad to get back inside afterwards. Wow. But like I said a few minutes ago, I'm going to class Harrogate as our bogey team, because we have played each other 7 times. And we've only beaten them once. We have lost to Harrogate 4 times out of the 7, drawing the other 2. But we've never had a goal scoring difference of 11 goals to 10 in Harrogate's favour. The other factor which I think is quite incredible for Grimsby, really. We've never beaten Harrogate Town as a league team. The only time we have beaten Harrogate Town was our promotion season, the 24th of October 2015, when we went to Harrogate in the FA Cup and won by 4-1. Since then, we've had a 2-2 draw in the EFL Trophy. We've lost 2-1 to Harrogate in 2020, in October of 2020 and February of 2021, where we lost 1-0 as well there. And we've also lost 3-2 on Boxing Day of 2022 and drew 0-0 at Blundell Park last February. And obviously just a month ago, Harrogate beat Grimsby 2-1 right before Christmas. It wasn't exactly the Christmas present Grimsby were looking for. So, this is going to be a tough game. Obviously, Simon Weaver's the manager. He's been manager, I think, for around 12, 13 years now. And, he's brought them on leaps and bounds. And to be fair, they haven't, they haven't let up this year. They're actually having a very, very good season, Harrogate Town. And, fair play to them. Fair play to them. I mean, if we were to look at the overall stats of the game, really, the biggest victory that they've had this season is 3-1. Ours has been, our biggest victory has been a 3-0 win, which was at Salford. Obviously, our biggest defeat, 6-1 to Walsall. Theirs was a 4-1 defeat. Their top goal scorer is George Thompson, while ours is Mr. Danny Rose. What a man that he is. 3-3 now, I think, for Danny. 11 for the season, or 12 overall, but 11, I believe it's 10 or 11 in the league. Having a fantastic individual season, Danny is. Some betting odds, if you did want fancy a flutter, you can get Harrogate odds of 29-20, Grimsby are 9-5, also the draw's 5-2. This is going to be a very, very tricky game, this. I mean, apparently there's some illness in the Grimsby Town camp. Not really injuries as such. Obviously Arthur Ganoa and that still out injured, but apparently he is on the grass, which is good to see. And who's signing from Blackpool? He is available. Apparently the reason why he didn't play last week against Notts County, it wasn't done in time. I think it was a 5 o'clock deadline the day before, and it wasn't done in time for that to actually, or was it midday the day before, something or other. But it wasn't done in time, so hopefully the lad will be involved at the weekend, or there's a good chance that he could be. But no real other major injury concerns heading into this for David Artell. But David Artell, to be fair, has had a very, very tough first 6 weeks in the job. The things he's had to deal with in the first 6 weeks is monumental, really. Tough start, not only for us as supporters, but a tough start for David himself personally, I'm sure. I don't think he was expecting to have to deal with this much stuff going on early on. But if we just take a look at the league positions of both sides, we've got Harrogate Town in 9th. I mean, that's telling you how good they really have been, absolutely astounds me, really. 40 points already this season for them. 12 wins, 4 draws and 11 defeats. 34 goals scored, 35 conceded. Whereas if we look down at Grimsby's league position, we're in 19th place after 27 games. We've won 6, drew 10 and lost 11. Scoring 40 goals, conceding 49 goals. We're on 28 points at the moment. That is 12 points behind Harrogate. And at the moment, that is quite a way off the drop, really. It's sort of 9 points off the drop. Sutton in 23rd, Forest Green in 24th. If we play the way we did attacking wise, like we did against Notts County in that ridiculous game, then we could cause some real damage to Harrogate. But if we defend the way we did in that ridiculous game, they'll see us off. It's very important that we try and keep our attacking quality up, but at the same time, obviously try and keep the opposing team out. I think you've got to really in these situations, But I don't think we're going to get a full David Artell side till the summer, when he's had a full pre-season with them. This game, though, is going to be very, very tricky. I've got to say, our way form has improved under David Artell. He did say that in his pre-match, and I agree. It has, it has had a slightly upward turn. I wouldn't say fully, but I'd say slightly. But I think it's just, you really don't want to go against your side, and I won't. I fancy Grimsby to. And when I say Grimsby to win this, because with the attacking talent that we have got, we shown just last week we've got goals in us. But I don't. Harrogate probably won't be as open as that, but if they are, they'll know what threats that we do have. So with Issa, with Vernon, with Rose, with Conte controlling the sort of just in front of the back three, back five, it's good. I'm going to go for a narrow Mariners win. I'm going to go 2-1 to Grimsby. However, it could easily go 2-1 the other way as well. Harrogate look like they are Grimsby's bogey side, which I've already said. And so I'd say we're due a result against Harrogate. Hopefully we can get one. But with the type of season Harrogate's having, they're going to be, they're going to be fairly confident and believe, especially at home, that they can pull in the result that they'll be looking for. I will be at Harrogate. I will be there. So if you do see me at Harrogate, I'm actually going to be in I'm going to be in the ground. So if you do see me in the ground, even going into the ground, just come and say hello and let me know what your score prediction is going to be for the game between Grimsby and Harrogate Town at Harrogate. That comes your way on Saturday afternoon. If you are going, safe travels. Hopefully I'll see you guys there. In the meantime, please do like, share, subscribe to the channel, please. And leave your comments down below. Like I said, the well wishes obviously for Callum Ainley obviously the transfer situation with Camille Conte and what other business could David Artell be brewing? What players could be leaving the club in January? Because I think there will be some exits, and also your score prediction for the game, which is what this video was about. What your score predictions for the Harrogate game is. In the meantime, guys, I'll be back with a review of the game afterwards. So keep eyes up for that. Hit that bell button. That'll let you know when that video is coming. And it's been a pleasure to speak to you guys right now. And I will see you guys very soon with another one. All I can say now is if you're going to Harrogate, do enjoy it. Come and say hello if you do see me. And if I don't see you at Harrogate, I'll be back with a review after the game. So I will see you guys very soon. Bye bye for now.